Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 14, verse 3, and this is the one where Bhagwan Shri Krishna is actually for the first time in chapter 14. Like for 1 and 2, he said, I'm going to give you the most superior knowledge ever, and Prabhupada in verse 1, chapter 14, had said that this is the most superior knowledge. I thought it would be somewhere from chapter 7 to 12 because that was all about bhakti. So when he said that, I was like, okay, if he's saying that and he's such a bhakti oriented person, then this must be really powerful. So anyways, he's going into that, and this first verse, verse 3, where he's starting to explain it, is technical. It's getting a little complicated, and both of them are talking in slightly different ways. So I'm going to explain it in the best way that I understand it. And if you guys feel like I'm missing something or I'm misconstruing, I'm saying it wrong, then please do let me know in the comments. I would love to know that. Okay, so let's do our prayers. Let's call out to Krishna. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help me. Please help us understand this verse in the best way possible, and please help us come closer to you. Please help us build love for you. Okay, let's sing the verse. मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं दधाम्यहं सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and that is the Brahman that I am pregnant, making possible all births of all living beings, O son of Bharat. So here he has merged 3 and 4 together. So I'm just going to read the first part. The total material substance of Prakriti is the womb, and I impregnate it with the individual souls. Therefore, all living beings are born. So basically, the concept here is that the material energy is the womb, and he explains it here further here also. The where is it? Hey, okay. Yeah, the Prakriti is like the womb and the souls are like sperm. So basically, the Prakriti is the material nature, that is the womb, and then the souls are the Jivatma, which he impregnates the material energy with. So the commentary here, the explanation is that the combination, everything is due to Kshetra and Kshetragya, which is the body and the spirit soul or Bhagwan. The Kshetragya could be two, either the body, the spirit soul, or Bhagwan. This combination of material nature and living entity is made possible by God. Now he explains, now this is where it goes into the technical thing. Mahat Tattva is the total cause of cosmic manifestation, total substance of material cause, which is the 3 modes of material nature, which is also called Brahman. Okay, so it is and then he says there are 24 elements beginning from earth, water, fire, air. These are material energy, and they are called Mahad Brahma. So now I don't understand the difference between Mahat Tattva and Mahad Brahma. It seems to me the same, the material energy, but beyond this, or maybe Mahat Tattva includes the spiritual energy, because beyond the material energy there is another superior energy called the living entity. And that material, into the material energy, the superior in nature is put into it by God. So the Supreme Personality impregnates that total substance or Mahat Tattva, and therefore innumerable universes become possible. Okay, now he gives this example of a scorpion laying eggs in rice, but people will sometimes say that scorpions come from rice. No, they don't come from rice. They come from the mother who's laying eggs in the rice, right? So the rice is the material energy, and the scorpion is laying eggs in that rice. And then that is, so the scorpion is basically impregnating the rice with baby scorpions. um, so uh, to explain here. So here he talks about the Mahavishnu, where he's breathing in. When he's breathing in, all its dissolution of all universes. When he's breathing out, it's creation of all universes. So how he does it is he glances at, so all the Jivatmas as well as their subtle bodies and karmic deaths and everything, all of them go in to Mahavishnu's body along with Prakriti, which is the material nature. And when he is ready, he glances at Prakriti, which begins to unwind, which creates this entities, Mahan, Ahankar, Panch Tanmatras, Panch Mahabhuta, and then with the material energy creator, Brahma, the material energy creates, like is created, and then it's impregnated by Mahavishnu, by God, determined by their past karmas into the appropriate bodies, into this universe that's been created, the material, into the Prakriti. So therefore, Prakriti is like the womb, souls are like sperms. Therefore, he places the souls in the womb of Mother Nature to give multi-birth to many people. Yeah. So he does not cast all souls into the material world, only those who are vimukh. Vimukh means have their backs toward God. So if we turn towards God, if we turn towards Krishna, then we are not going to come back on earth, then we're going to go back to God. Okay, so that's it for this video. We'll do, oh sorry, I wanted to read Bhaktivinoda Thakur's thing. The primary principle of the material nature is the material womb of the universe. I impregnate that Brahman which represents the universal womb from which all living beings originate. That Brahman is the material effect of my superior nature, and I infuse. So the Brahman is the material effect of my superior nature. So I am superior, but the Brahman is the material effect of that. And I infuse the jivas who possess marginal influence into the material nature. From that Brahma and all jivas are born. Okay, so I want you to think about this a little bit, like how much we are as human beings, as jivas, we are individual souls. I've spoken about it in one of my previous videos also, but we are individual souls, and we are like this light. Like you can picture yourself and practice picturing yourself as this bright light emanating from the heart, where the soul resides in the body. And that's what we are. And we are independent of the Lord, we are independent of God, and everybody around us, all the trees, all the living insects underneath the earth, all the clumps of grass, every single living being that we can look around and see, like as far as the eye can see, every one of them is this bright light. And if we can picture that, start to practice picturing that, like that we are individual souls, and it is our immense responsibility as a human being to bring ourselves to the service of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. It is so crucial, so important for us to bring ourselves to the service of the Lord and to make changes, to do things in our lives. Like we can't just exist and say, okay, I don't know and I can't know and I don't know what to do and whatever, and that's it. Like, no, it is so important for us to put in the enormous amount of effort that we want to, not just so that we can, not just to avoid pain, so that we can get out of this material world, so that we can, but because it is our duty, our responsibility to, and it is in our greatest pleasure and our greatest joy to serve Bhagwan Shri Krishna, to be the servant of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, to give Bhagwan Shri Krishna joy and love and to experience it. It is our responsibility as individual human beings, as these bright lights that we are, to go to do this enormously difficult task, because we have this human body. But the reward is immense, right? The reward is immense, but the process of it, and the process of it to do so will be to do that what the third verse of Shikshashtakam is, right? Amanina manadena trinadapi sunichana tarorapi sahishnana, to become more lower than a blade of grass, to have more humility than a blade of grass, to become more tolerant than a tree, to give all respects to others, to expect no respect in return, kirtaniya sadahari. That's when we'll be able to chant. But this whole thing is so difficult because there is so much ego that comes in place, right? I mean, I found myself, I help people and I help people and I help people, and I don't feel like they're grateful at all. And then I'm starting like, look, I don't want to help people. I'm feeling used. But to get to a place eventually, whenever, and to accept where we are right now, to not force ourselves to help people when we can build resentment, because that is never going to get us anywhere. The more resentment we build, the more we're not able to get there. But to be able to have this very strong, clear intention, I want to get there where I can just give, and I don't need anything in return. I don't need to expect anything in return because my joy is in giving. So to have that intellectual understanding, at least right now, and then to be able to work towards that, right? That is so difficult because we have to kill our ego, prick our ego, overcome our ego. But it is absolutely crucial. The most difficult thing in the world probably is to overcome our ego and be like, yeah. I mean, I am there for you. The stories that you hear, but the more stories that you hear, the more you associate with people who are like that, like, listening to lectures of Radhanath Maharaj and people who are just out of this world amazing, and who are like that. The more we associate with people like that, the more we're inspired to become like them. And the more we associate with people who have a lot of ego and who are like, no, I'm not going to do anything for this person, which is okay where we are. We accept where we are and we accept where other people are. But if we want to grow, then we associate with people who are there, we get from them, and then we associate with people who are below us so that we can give to them. Right? This is how the flow works. Right? We get from people who are higher than us, and we give to people who are lower than us in that particular spectrum. I mean, there'll be many different spectrums where we're higher than the person in the same, in one thing, but lower than the person in another thing. But like, in this particular case, I'm talking about ego, and this thing of just being able to give without expecting anything in return. It's extremely difficult, but extremely powerful. Okay, that's it for this video. Wish you a day filled with lots of Krishna's grace and lots of humility, real, genuine, deep humility that leads to real, genuine, deep love for Krishna and for all those that Krishna loves. Radhe Radhe.